First things first, I've already packed all my microphones, so please excuse the audio, and welcome back to another Q&A. My room is a mess, my stuff is everywhere, and I'm still organizing things, but I wanted to film this video before I go so that I have at least something to post while I'm currently trying to uproot my entire life. So with that in mind, I asked you on Instagram if you had any questions for me, and these are the top ones I picked, starting up with Last Travern, who says, if the Harry Potter TV series gets its own LEGO line, is there anything book only you would want to appear as a set? I mean, I know that this isn't gonna happen anytime soon, given that, you know, we're gonna start kind of go in order. So funnily enough, I have my Kindle here as well, because the one thing that I would want is actually from the Goblet of Fire, so it's not gonna happen anytime soon, but it's the Hogwarts kitchens and like the whole backstory between the house elves. So luckily for me, at least, since I've been rereading the series, like everything that happens is like fresh in my memory right now. And in terms of the Philosopher's Stone, like I really think the original movie was so faithful to the books, besides Peeves. And like, to be honest, I don't really care if we ever get a Peeves minifigure. I mean, we got one in the original wave, like that's cool and all, but I don't really need an updated one. Like I would much rather see like a fully fleshed out Hogwarts kitchens like playset. I honestly thought it was going to show up in the Great Hall this year. It didn't, and I get it because it's really only a thing in the books for the most part, but like I'd love to see Winky, I'd love to see Dobby in the kitchens, and just the kitchens in general. I think that would be a really fun addition and would also be something really easy to implement into a set. Brickdad Builds asks, what am I most excited for at Brickworld? I firstly am very excited for this convention. I can't believe it's less than a month away at this point. I'm honestly a little bit unprepared. Most of my Brickworld builds are like packed and ready to go, but I need to assemble them. And for me this year, I am most excited for honestly like participating in the World of Light ceremony. So last year when I went, like World of Light was a thing and I'd had my mocks for the first time, and then I suddenly realized I was like, oh, I probably should have like lit this up and joined in on this event somehow. And that's really been my main goal since Brickworld last year. I really wanted to build a mock and light it up. So I'm bringing my Barbie house that I built last year to Brickworld, and that is the mock that I have chosen to lit up because to me it just makes the most amount of sense. Like I've got all of the lighting components from my bricks and they are just like shoved in like every little crevice of my suitcase so that once I move I can rebuild the mock and then install all of the lights and actually be a part of the ceremony, I guess, or like the event this time. I want to try and do something as well to like light up the brick heads that I have so that like they're not just sat in the dark. Otherwise, like the convention for the most part should be the same as every other year. As usual, I'm really excited to catch up with everyone and go and see all of the builds, but I'm really excited at the aspect of like actually participating in like the mock showcases and all of those types of things, because that is still something that is very new to me and has quickly become one of my favorite parts of these conventions. Brick Trooper asks, what's the first thing I'm going to do when I become full-time in the USA? I mean, technically I feel like I've already done it, so this is kind of like a little bit of a cheat, but it was to get a Disney World annual pass. That was what I was really the most excited for about this whole concept, because I'm a huge Disney fan, and the fact that I'm going to be close and like able to drive there and like go to the parks whenever I want to is incredible for me. So I used to have a Disneyland Paris annual pass when I was a kid, and we would drive up to Paris and we would go to the theme parks for a couple days. Look, I already bought it. I was a little bit impatient. I already bought it. I haven't activated it though. But besides that, get a social security number. That is probably like the top priority. I know it's really lame and unexciting because like, yes, I'd love to unpack my stuff and like set up a display, but like I gotta take care of all the admin stuff, and that includes getting a social security number. So that is top priority. Then I guess like Florida license. That way I can validate my like residency for my Disney annual pass. Katie wants to know what my dream car is besides the Barbie dream car. I mean, look, that car is awesome. And I feel like this is quite funny since we're going off like moving to the USA. So at least at the moment, the car that I am looking at and really want to get is a Mini Countryman. Now I used to have a Mini Cooper. I loved it, but the USA, everyone's got big trucks, and I don't trust myself in a Mini Cooper on the other side of the road when like there are giant trucks that probably wouldn't be able to see my tiny little car when driving to Disney. So I was like, all right, let's try and find something a bit better, like a small SUV size. But all of the cars that I could think of off the top of my head, firstly, don't exist in the US because they're too small. So that was a little bit of a frustrating realization. And then also it comes down to just like cost as well. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I feel like I would probably just get like some other small type of SUV. I just love the minis. They were so fun to drive. Proudman wants to know, what Harry Potter set am I most looking forward to in the summer wave? It is a tie between the Great Hall and the Domstrong ship. And I feel like I have to lean towards the Domstrong ship because it's something we haven't gotten in longer. It's not something that's remade as regularly. Like I feel like Hogwarts castles and the Great Hall specifically is like quite a common thing, whereas we've only had one Domstrong ship and Bobaton's carriage for that matter. And that set looks incredible. I can't wait to go and buy them. I'm trying to see if any pop up on eBay. Hopefully I might have some luck finding them early in stores, but otherwise I'll be going to the LEGO store on release day and buying every single set in that wave, and I'll be building the Domstrong first. I also really want to rewatch everything because like since I've been rereading them, I would like to rewatch the movies as well and get really into it. Like I am so excited for Harry Potter this year. It's made me so happy. Jessie asked, what sets could LEGO make for the Bad Batch? I feel like with the Bad Batch, a lot of the sets that I can see LEGO making, if they're gonna do one from season 3, to be something that's kind of like simple and can be applied as like a Clone Wars set or just like a grander set than just the Bad Batch. That being said, I would love to see a Tantus set, though I think if they do anything, they're gonna go towards like the Clone Turbo Tank route, if anything. I just really want to see a set with Crosshair in his like original Bad Batch uniform included. An updated Omega would be amazing too, but I think if LEGO's gonna do anything, it's gonna be way more like broadly applied. I bet you they're gonna do at least one set next year. Like it was so popular. The price of the Bad Batch shuttle these days alone is like crazy. Like I really hope they do something. Marty wants to know if there are going to be any more LEGO Lord of the Rings sets. I mean, that's the thing, at least at the moment, like we have no confirmation. I do not doubt that they are going to make another one though. I guarantee you that another set is going to come out, though it very much looks like they're just going to continue doing like one big direct-to-consumer set each year, which kind of sucks. Like I would love to see some cheaper playset ones since both of the sets are just like massive and super expensive, which sucks. Then again, the next logical set has to be Hobbiton and Bag End, and I feel like a big $500 set for that would look incredible. Like Hobbiton in the scale of Rivendell, oh my gosh, I would love to see that. If Lord of the Rings doesn't continue, I will be really surprised. I feel like it's doing really well, especially given its like high price point. Like those sets are gorgeous. They are some of LEGO's best work, and I think it's easier to justify spending the money on those $500 sets than it is other $500 sets just because of how good they look, if that makes sense. Judy wants to know if I'm doing moving vlogs. Yes, I am, except most of them are going to be uploaded onto my second channel. So if you don't ever make it to the end of my videos or you haven't heard me talk about it, I do actually have a second channel, which I basically just use to like upload anything I want. Like whatever I feel like doing, that's the channel that it belongs on, and it's called Holly on Air, and that's where I'm going to be posting like majority of my moving vlogs. I think I'll do like one big video on this channel eventually, like once I've moved and settled. I've already done one so far, and I've still been documenting the process, and hopefully we'll continue to like keep posting vlogs as well, because in my head, like, yeah, I can sit and talk to my family about like what's been going on in my life, but I feel like it would be really fun for them to watch it. So I'd love to do more vlogs strictly because of them, and then I guess if you want to watch them too, that's great. But yeah, I've posted one. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. Alex Gray asked, is LEGO Marvel ever going to be as special to you as Star Wars? What's the peak you reckon? I feel like not anymore. I mean, for very many years, LEGO Marvel was more special to me than Star Wars. And that's mostly because I was more into the Marvel universe than I was the Star Wars universe. But now Marvel is just letting me down. I still love all of the characters. I still love, you know, the movies that did come out. Not necessarily a lot of the new ones, but at least at this point, like because I've lost interest in the franchise as a whole, I'm kind of like losing interest in the LEGO sets. Like I would rather pick something else. That being said, this year's Marvel sets are really good. I really want the Milano. I think that is fantastic. The Avengers like battle thing is really cool as well, but I just don't think I want to spend that amount of money on that set. Whereas like the Milano as a ship and like a display piece, that looks really cool and will also match my Benetton, so there's that too. DRL says, don't you think we are long overdue for a new Queen Amidala minifig? Now, I really wanted to answer this question simply due to the fact that like the Captain Rex Y-Wing microfighter is coming out, and I feel like it's a really interesting topic of conversation. Now, I personally have like expressed before, I really don't like those like intense LEGO investing like mentalities. I understand being upset, but ultimately investing in anything is risky. Like you took a risk, it didn't pay off. Whoop-de-doo. Collectors, on the other hand, like being upset that like, I guess your minifigure is no longer exclusive or it's gotten remade, I do get it. Now with Queen Amidala, she's obviously one of my favorite minifigures. I paid $150 US for her, so I did not get her when she came out. She is a prized possession of mine. I love her, but I want them to remake her. Like, yes, it could definitely trump the value of my one, or, you know, it's Star Wars, who knows what on earth will happen. Maybe it will retain itself. But at the end of the day, I'm collecting things because I like them, not because they're worth a lot of money. And I think that is really important with LEGO. I think it's so fun to see like how LEGO updates and upgrades minifigures. There are so many characters that I want them to remake, and there's a lot of them that I own and like paid a lot for, but I still want to see them be remade because I enjoy LEGO. I enjoy collecting things and I enjoy owning these characters. The value, look, it's an added bonus, but ultimately that's not why I'm buying and have ever bought LEGO. And going off of that as well, I am very excited for Captain Rex's Y-Wing. I paid resale for my Rex and I'm very excited for this Y-Wing to come out. I'm absolutely buying it. And then like I actually have a like second camera cape to put on him and like upgrade him already. So I'm hyped. Cheap minifigures in my eyes is always a good thing, and at the end of the day, they still have exclusive minifigures in UCS sets. It's just not the one that you were hoping for. Kelly Lauren wants to know if I have any plans on how I plan to reorganize my LEGO collection when I move. I do actually, and funnily enough, I've been planning this for like months. So if you look back, like I made a video about like reorganizing my collection. It was called like part 1. Yeah, part 1, because part 2 is coming soon. I was kind of like made that video with the intention of like how I would design like a new LEGO room. Like if I had like a new space, how on earth would I do it? And I still have all of those documents in like the Milanote app, and I pulled it up as like a reference. I'm very, very excited. I'm gonna have more shelf space, but I don't think I'm gonna have anything too crazy since it will be like half LEGO room, half office. I'm really excited to see how it turns out, and also I hope you like what I do because I'm really excited for it, so hopefully you guys like it too. Jack Butler wants to know my thoughts on custom minifigs, any favorites? Now, I picked this question for 2 reasons. One is because immediately after watching The Phantom Menace in cinemas, I ran to try and find someone who still had the Grandpa Clone Customs Naboo Padme in stock, and I ordered one, and I'm so excited. I kept putting off buying that minifigure, and it's about time that I bought her, so very excited for that. I love Grandpa Clone Customs. I have a lot of like their custom helmets, a couple of their custom minifigures, really big fan of them. Otherwise, besides that, I kind of wanted to plug my own Padme minifigure that I made. Here she is. She's listed on my store. I've left a couple in Australia if you live here, so that the shipping's not too expensive, but otherwise, local shipping from the USA now, woo! I had to take the opportunity for a self-plug, I apologize, but besides Grandpa Clone Customs myself, I also really enjoy Orbital minifigures for custom stuff. Theirs is incredible, but I don't own a lot of their things typically because like they used to do a lot of like classic design stuff, and I also have quite a lot of Firestar toys like printed arms. I'm a big fan of them. I don't have any of their like custom minifigures, but the custom printed arms and legs and like accessories, I love them. A Lego stud wants to know what I'm most looking forward to at Star Wars Celebration. For me, I loved seeing the cosplays last year, and I feel like that's a kind of a lame answer because you can kind of see Star Wars cosplays at any other convention. But even just like being a part of the convention in general was such a fun experience. Like the atmosphere, the vibe, it like I don't even know how to explain it, but just like there was an energy and it was fantastic. I cannot wait to be a part of that again. I'm so excited to see how Japan like pulls up in terms of like cosplays and outfits and even like merchandise. And someone who I'm going with, not that Sam Smith, who I went with to London Star Wars Celebration, he reminded me that it's Revenge of the Sith's 20th anniversary next year. So the amount of like cool, exclusive Revenge of the Sith themed things that are gonna be on offer is incredible. I really want to get like super into the pin trading. I kind of dabbled in it very, very briefly last year, and I really want to get into that, as well as like going to the Lego booth, talking to whoever's there, seeing whatever like mildly exciting exclusive thing is on offer this year. I feel like it's a big mix of things. I really want to go, but it all depends on like how much the rest of the trip is going to cost me, but at least I've got my ticket done. I just need to make the rest of the trip happen now. So hopefully over the next couple of months, like I can save up some money, I can book the hotels, book the flights, you know, make a whole trip out of it. I'm very, very excited. I really hope that I'm going to be able to make it. I'm just very grateful as well that I was actually able to get tickets, just full stop. Daddy Panyos asked, what minifigs would you want to see in a Leaky Cauldron set? For me, Tom the Innkeeper, put him in there. Hagrid, Harry, just like a couple of like random witches or wizards, and then maybe I guess like you can throw Cornelius Fudge in there, but that also wouldn't make a ton of sense. Otherwise, there aren't really any characters that like particularly stand out to me, but I feel like the Leaky Cauldron should be very much like the Weasley's Wizard Wheezers. I assume it's going to be a place set, and I want to have like the building on its own and then have like a small side building, or even just like throw a random butterbeer cart in there. I think that would be awesome with just like the brick wall. Like, I'm more excited for the build than the minifigures in the set like that. But yeah, that's what I would pick. Ed Lasagna asked the question that everyone wants to know, and that is, how do you keep up with buying sets and making space for them? Long story short, I struggle too. I feel like every single Lego collector struggles with this. Now, as a matter of fact, I've gone through my entire Lego collection whilst doing this moving process. every set has now been broken down and put in a little Ziploc bag and then like put in a container. I think in total I have like 12 containers. Some of them are like quite small and like others are quite large, so keep that in mind. But the most important thing that I have found with my Lego collection is that, one, be strict on yourself. Don't get caught up with a set just because it's like, oh, it's cool. Wait 6 months and then you'll like have a better idea if you actually wanted it or if it was just like hype, because there's stuff coming out all the time. And then secondly, get used to selling things. Like, go through your collection. If there's a set that you're like not super fond of anymore, get rid of it. Now, granted, a lot of the time there are sets that I definitely could have like broken down and parted out instead of selling. But I also just think I would have had way too much Lego if I was doing that all the time. Like, I think there does need to be a balance, at least in my collection, of like what I'm doing. So I will often sell sets. I will also part out sets and put them in my parts collection. But if you're not building mocks, like just sell them. But you really need to go through your collection and cycle through things and just keep on the stuff that you really, really, really want. Like, I still have a lot of stuff and I am still struggling for space. You can't have everything on display all the time. So, you know, put some stuff in a container, break it down, but definitely get used to selling things. That is like the game changer. Thank you very much for watching this very rambly Q&A. My head's a bit all over the place, if you couldn't tell. This is my final Q&A in this room. The next Q&A will be in a different room, which is a whole wild thing on its own. I'm very excited for this journey and also very scared. Uploads will probably continue to be quite scarce until the beginning of June. Like, I will make sure that all of the Harry Potter stuff is done, but please bear with me as I kind of like set up and do all like the regular life admin-y things. Otherwise, subscribe to Holly on Air, my second channel, for some moving vlogs. Hit the like button, comment if you want, and until next time, I'll see you later.